too. I should have never accepted that position.
Oh, you thought that secretary thing was just a title?
Yeah, I didn't think I had to do something. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, we'll call it to order. Is there anyone from the general public that wants to make a comment? We could see them if someone was on here, right?
Yeah, they would pop on.
Okay. So we have a set of minutes from January to approve. Have you had a chance to review them? And
I have.
did you have any
I
concerns?
move for the approval of the minutes as presented.
I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. We have our staff reports.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Right here. Okay. Does everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So for our social media, we posted our meeting minutes, we posted for our meeting agenda, we uploaded our January meeting to YouTube, and we live streamed it on Facebook. I uploaded the February Zoom meeting details, and we have also posted an RFP to our website, and I posted it to our social media sites, and let our social media public know that we're doing an audit RFP. And I also posted links to all of the media that we received for the spring grant cycle being canceled press release that I sent out. These are media links. We had an article from the Sentinel about Mesa and Garfield FML districts, both scaling back on their spring grants. The Business Times, KKCO 11 News, KJCT News 8, and KREX. We don't have any grants requesting payment at this time. And Insurance and Special District Association, I kind of wanted to touch on this in the staff report, and I put it on there as a separate line item too, that we filled out the paperwork and we submitted one for the Colorado Special District Association for board insurance. We do qualify because we have to be a member of the Special District Association in order to do that. But I have not gotten the quote back yet. I spoke with Diane kind of a lot the last couple of days because it's been quite a while to get it. She said she is expecting it to be any day now, but I don't have that. And I just wanted to throw that out there because we'll be discussing that in just a second when it comes to our invoices. So our invoices for January are for Dusty Reimer for invoice 155 for services and supplies for $2,705.97. Dufford Waldock invoice 23872 for services for $503. And I put the Philadelphia invoice on there. It's for our board insurance policy. The renewal for the policy for the year is $2,601. It's due on February 19th. And you'll have seen that in the packet that I sent over with these invoices. We're kind of in a little bit of like an overlap. We're just waiting to see if the Special District Association is going to give us something better. And if not, I at least wanted to have this on here so we don't have any lapse in coverage for our board insurance. And our upcoming events, the audit, RFP audits are going to be due on March 12th. So if you have any lists of people that I can contact, I would really appreciate that. Our March public board meeting is scheduled for March 17th, and our April public board meeting will be scheduled for April 21st.
Okay. Any questions on that?
Dusty, is Home Loan the agent for that insurance quote, for the Philadelphia quote?
They are.
Okay, so
That's great.
I think I need to recuse myself, which means we don't have a quorum to deal with that question, correct?
That's absolutely correct. And I guess that means you're going to have to kick the can down the road in terms of any approval of that particular expenditure, unless I suppose that Dusty, you might be able to get a hold of Quint and see if he would be.
That's strange. He hasn't texted back either.
See what his position is on that. But you're absolutely right, Craig.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So we're moving on to CSD Insurance and Special District Association membership discussion.
Do you guys want to approve the other 2 invoices and we just pull the
sorry.
Philadelphia insurance off? There you go.
Sorry, yes, I didn't realize we had to approve them, sorry.
No, it's okay.
I would move for the approval of the Dufford Waldeck invoice and the Dusty Reimer invoice.
I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. Okay, now the Insurance and Special District Association membership.
So I kind of line item this separately to just to have this discussion that we haven't officially renewed our dues for the Special District Association. Last year they were $900. They're based on the percentage of the amount of money that we have every year to be part of the Special District Association. And we haven't really ever done or used anything that they have. So with the insurance quote, it's kind of twofold. If the insurance kind of comes back and it looks like it's going to be a better quote to be part of the insurance with the special district, I think that was kind of what we were looking at, whether or not we were going to renew or not. We have until May to actually renew with the Special District Association. If we do it by March, we get a discount, but we should know hopefully within the week what kind of an insurance quote we can get from them for being part of the Special District Association.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to kind of put that out there for you guys to, because that always typically comes up. And when we had all the cuts that we needed to make, that was kind of one where we thought we don't really do anything and we don't get anything for being a part of them, just to give them $1,000. So we'll give it one last shot unless the board has any special reason to stay with the Special District Association at this time. We have a month to consider it after this. Oh, here's Quint. Yay.
I am very sorry. I did not realize it was after 1 o'clock. I got held up in a meeting this morning and I ran to grab my lunch and I was just sitting here enjoying my lunch. I apologize. Just when you think you're got a grip back on your life, right?
We just elected you chairman for next year, Quint. So I'd be careful about being late to meetings if I were you.
I agree. Yes.
Well, if we could turn it back over probably to you then, Quint. We are in the process of discussing the insurance.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll catch up with you.
All right. So just to kind of recap, our Philadelphia board insurance is $2,601. The policy is supposed to renew on the 19th of February. We asked for a Colorado Special District Association quote for insurance. We have to be part of the Special District Association to get a quote, and we are still waiting for that. Diane said she expects it to be any day now. I'm hoping that we do get it and it's something significant. We spend about $900 right now in those Special District Association dues, and up until this point, we've never really done anything with them or gotten any benefits that we can really use. And so we don't have to renew our Special District Association until May. If we do an early renewal, that's in March, or we don't have to renew at all and save some money if the insurance quote comes back that's not worthwhile. But the other thing is that I put the Philadelphia insurance one on there because I didn't want us to have a lapse in board insurance, because it is due on Friday, just in case we don't get that quote back. And they held off on voting on it because Craig has to recuse himself from it.
Okay.
It is the one that was left hanging.
Okay. So we just need to vote. Do we need to vote on just the insurance itself or the association?
No, not the association, not just yet. I'm just keeping you guys abreast of the situation. I don't have any numbers or anything to share with that just yet. So.
Okay, so we don't need an action item on this. Okay.
minute, Dusty, weren't you saying that we're going to have a lapse of coverage if they don't approve this
For the
expenditure?
Philadelphia insurance, yeah.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Colorado Special District one is not.
one recommendation I would say there is, and obviously you haven't asked for it, but I'll chime in anyway, is that I think it is important. These are claims made policies, and continuity of coverage is worthwhile and important. And you can always renew the policy now and cancel later and get a refund or partial refund of your premium if you elect to switch carriers, for example. But I do think, just as a matter of sort of internal housekeeping, it's important that the district maintain its coverage continuously. So I would not recommend letting that lapse pending another quote from another carrier, which may or may not be better.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Great.
So do you-
Yep.
Okay, I move that we approve payment for the Philadelphia insurance invoice.
And I'll second that since you have to recuse, Craig. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And Dusty, will you make sure that the minutes reflect that Craig recused himself from that
Yep.
particular vote? Great.
Absolutely. Perfect. All right,
We
so
are
done with 5.
CSD Insurance and Special District Association membership discussion, or is that, you said number 5?
Yeah, we just finished that.
Okay, so review of financials then.
Okay. So back to this. Okay. So for end of January 31, our total bank fund balance was $937,619.64. Our grants payable account is still $338,400 for the 4 grants, grant awards that are still outstanding. Our profit and loss, we had our contract services, administrative expenses, dues and memberships. Pretty much all checks were cashed last month. And an unrealized gain or loss in the permanent fund of $2,285,000. Oh my gosh, today, sorry. $2,285 in the negative. I'm sorry. I told you it was one of those days. Investment fees of $3,867.46. And these are still our 4 grants that are outstanding right now. And our budget to actual numbers. I do have a question with the insurance. The insurance quote that we got is $100 more than this. Are we going to need to do any kind of changes or anything because we thought it was going to be $2,500?
Yeah, Dusty, if you exceed your budgetary allocations at some point during the fiscal year, the board should approve an adjusting resolution that will bring expenditures and budget line items into balance. I'm hoping that there won't be any other of those, but you may want to wait just a little bit just to see how things are going. Typically, those are done at mid-year.
Okay.
That'd be good. We'll try to remember that.
Sounds good. Any questions? We did have our $100,000 contribution to the permanent fund.
Okay. Any more questions for Dusty? Okay.
Does it take board action to accept the financials, Chris?
Typically you guys just, since you're not taking action on them, typically it's just a briefing item. So I don't know that you need to approve anything unless there's something that was specifically asked for in terms of like an action to be taken. But
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I think half the board meetings I go to, they approve the minutes or the financials, and half of them they don't. And I know you don't need to, but
Yeah, I think that just for expediency, we could probably dispense with having to approve those. The main thing is just that you guys are watching it every month.
right. Okay, thank you. Moving on, let me get back to the agenda here. So our next item is review our investment accounts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be very brief because we went into a little more depth last time. The current balance is over 2 million now. So congratulations, you guys are 2,078,000 as of market close last Friday. And it's more or less flat today. And then we got that additional $100,000 deposited into the account, and we will allocate that in accordingly. So things are still moving along nicely. Yep.
Anybody have any questions on anything particular on the report for Matt? Matt, do you have you see any changes to your plan or your what you're doing with our investments coming up?
No, I mean, I think there's a lot of concern I get from clients now about markets being overvalued. I think there's pockets of that, especially when you look at some of the tech sectors, biotech, and then there's always the interest rate concern. But we've always maintained a pretty low duration in the portfolio. We've moved out of treasuries. Well, we're trying to move out of treasuries and into TIPS, which are treasury inflation protected securities. So we're replacing our just traditional treasury allocation with those. And then one that we're just recently making across all portfolios is mortgage backs. And that's some of a concern to me because if you look at the duration of a mortgage back fund, it's very low right now, like 2 to 3 years. That gives you the sense I have this security against interest rate risk. But the reality is the duration of those is so low because people have been prepaying their mortgages for the last 10 years every year. I mean, everybody's probably refinanced every year or two for the last 10 years. And that's why that duration of those funds has gotten down to so low. But now that we're in a potential increasing interest rate environment, I could see the duration of those funds going back up to 10 pretty easily as time goes by. So those are some of the, I guess, more nuanced changes we're looking at within portfolios. But we're still mostly agnostic in that we don't try to time markets, especially in short term. And so, making a drastic change from, equities to bonds or vice versa isn't something that we would really recommend. So stay the course. Yep.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Any other questions for Matt? Okay. Any unscheduled business?
I had a question for you guys. I got a voice message from Aaron Johnson with Western Energy Alliance, and he wanted to talk to me. He said about the FML district and wants to learn about the impact that the president's executive orders on onshore lease ban, how that's impacting our community. And my first thought was, well, he needs to talk to Quint, and then he said he'd already talked to Quint. So I don't know what I can tell him in addition to what you already have. I don't, but if Dusty has some details about some of the losses we've experienced, or,
I think he's more or less shopping for support, Janet.
Oh, okay.
I talked to him about it. I gave him, some specifics. I told him to talk to Dusty about specific numbers, as they affect what we've seen our stuff dropping. I think more or less a roundabout way looking for our support and how it affects us, and it definitely affects us. So I think that's what he's looking at.
I've not heard from this person, so this is the first I've heard of it.
I gave him your information. I'll make sure he has that, Dusty. It's the Western Energy Alliance. It's a group that they're promoting oil and gas and energy use.
Okay.
And they're just looking for support articles, things to support their stance that they've taken.
Okay.
So in the good years, how much were we granting out compared to this last year, dollar wise?
Probably the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Um,
We were over for a couple of years there, Janet. I think we were over 2 million
Wow.
that we were giving out in grants. And there was lots of 1.8s, 1.7s, 1.6s, something like that. So it's been devastating to the FML district, in my opinion.
Mhm.
and last year we had that peak upturn where it went from 737 and then it peaked up to 900 and like 25,000. And we thought, oh, this is going to be great. And then this year it was 495,000. So 737 was the lowest I had seen until this year.
So this year, okay. Well, I'll just give him a call then.
The current uptick in natural gas prices will help us a little bit, Janet.
Absolutely.
But some of the volume has dropped off because there isn't a lot of drilling going on right now. So yeah, we should see a little better check next year because of this. So there was some really crazy stuff going on today in the market. The cash price for the White River Hub in Meeker was $137 today.
Oh,
That's up from $2.80.
Insane.
wow.
Yeah. If you're a short-term energy trader, today's a really busy day. You can sell into the Midwest market where it's below zero.
Yeah,
Your game
yeah.
stop.
So that's a pretty short term. The long-term futures are still $2.90 to $3. So
Yeah.
it's just going to be a little after Christmas bonus is what it'll be.
Okay, thank you.
Just a reminder to send in any names that you have for audits, for auditors that we can contact for an RFP for that.
I had meant to get with you yesterday. I have 2 people.
Okay.
Paul Miller is actively doing audits in town. He's, Paul's an older CPA that's been around for a long time, and he is doing audits. And then David,
Define old.
But older.
he's a little bit older than me, Craig.
Yeah.
That's old, right? And then Dave, Dave, and Paul Miller is doing the audit for the CMU Foundation.
Okay.
Has done that for a couple of years. And then David, I will get you his information. He is doing several audits. I talked to Danny at Ide Bailey, and he recommended, they said they are referring to both of them for audits.
Well, that's good.
So especially smaller audits. So I've got their contact information, and so maybe you can, I would guess we just email that information directly to them.
Yeah,
because
give them a
they
call
are
and just send it over.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I'll get with you after this call. I meant to do
Okay.
that yesterday.
That's okay. That's all right. That was all I had.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
So when is our next meeting?
So March 17th. I think I sent it to you and put it on your calendar as a recurring.
Mhm.
So it hopefully it's on there.
Yeah, I see it now. Okay. Just wanted to
Okay.
confirm. Sorry, I had to have you guys move it this time.
No, it's okay.
Are everybody else good so far on March 17th?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you
In
guys,
person.
yeah, you want it to be here or you want to do Zoom?
Gosh, by March, we ought to be able to, are you guys okay doing it there, Greg?
Yeah, I prefer in
Yeah.
person.
If that's available, Craig, it would be nice to get back in person.
I'll book it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, look at Dano. You have to be old to know that.
I know that. Did you look at me when
Hawaii 5-0? I mean, holy cow, that is really old.
I know.
I say that to Dan Chermak? I'm trying to do a ride along so I can say that to him. Book him, Dano.
Oh, old is always a perspective thing, right?
That's right.
Right. That is right.
Well, once again, I apologize for being late. I apologize. My lunch interfered. I was just taking a breather there and forgot about being at 1 o'clock. So I will.
Okay.
I look
All right.
forward to seeing you all next month and do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right. Thank you all.
All right.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Meeting
Thanks,
adjourned
guys.
at 1:35.